I think of Janananda Swami, but I think a lot about you because you really like that. You really want to distribute the books to save the people, and what is even higher is you inspire. I don't understand English. Yeah, you inspire the new devotees in that, and it's fantastic. I could never do that. And now we see so many new boys who are going in Sankirtan, and girls. I've seen girls coming in the sun, no want to go distribute books. We thought it will never happen again. We thought it was over. It was another time in the history of Islam. But now you inspire all those young devotees to make that sacrifice, and they like it. They like it. They really have the taste. And for me, it's fantastic. Each time I read about those devotees who really understand what is Krishna consciousness, I think about you. I'm not sorry, but I think about you. I thought you're a very good example for everyone. You're a very good example for me. And about speaking, being a heavy back team leader, I was the other day at Janananda, we were speaking, and he told me that something I could never even think. He said, "Oh, Maharaja is training us that if the Puja don't come, we don't get on their case. We go see them and we say, oh, Prabhu, what can we do for you? How we can encourage your service?" And I'm thinking, oh my God, I will never do that. I just make the people feel so bad when they don't come to do their service. It was my way of doing. It's why people were running away from me. Scared. If people don't come to do their artik, I don't know, explode. But really, you have a different way of seeing the things than me. I've been always pushing the people, like, I don't know, because it's my very low understanding of things, but you have to be responsible. And Krishna is like a child, and I say, if you have kids, all the ones who have kids, they know, even if you're sick, even if you have not slept for 2 days, if your kid is sick, and you have to change his bed, you will do it in the middle of the night. You will just do it. So I'm thinking we have to be like that for Krishna. And I have always pressed the people like that. But actually, I can see that's what Janananda was telling me. Maybe your ways is much better than mine. It's better to encourage the people. And I guess one reason it's going good here is you have bring that philosophy, that way of seeing, and encouraging everyone, even encouraging, what's his name? The physics Kirtan? Bhakti Kirtan, yeah. When he didn't come to do the doors anymore, and Veda wanted to get rid of him. Veda, his friend, wanted to get rid of him. And he said, no, we have to give him a chance. For that, you're fantastic. You're fantastic. And I really appreciate all those qualities and all what you're giving them, because they are trained like that, so they won't make the mistake we did in even trying to engage everyone in service. It's a much better way. So, yeah, for me, you're a reward. I agree. You're a reward from Mayapur, and I pray Krishna that you live a long life.
Jai. Hope you also. Hare Krishna.
I'm on mellow now.
Next we have Ramgati Prabhu.
Ramgati Prabhu was GBC here in Spain for 25 years. In France, rather. Also in other countries, and she served here tirelessly throughout many of the difficult periods. Mastered the French language, amongst other aspects of our French culture. And there's another rock to keep Srila Prabhupada's will going on here in town.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Nitari Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Prasaya Nidhi Bhagi Prashakti Prashakti Vante Kalpa Turubhasya Kripa Sindhu Devi Patitanam So I'd like to make Vishesha Mataji's and the Gopasam Prabhu's work as mine. And I was meditating on these points this morning about Janananda Goswami Maharaj's wonderful qualities. And I'd like to express my deep gratitude for his lifetime dedication to each of our Guru Maharaj. It's for me, it's a source of inspiration. And particularly his dedication to French theater. As you know, Maharaj said 2 minutes ago, and France has faced a very hard and difficult periods in different times. Yet, you are here, leadership is going on, and Sankirtan is getting better and better, year after year. And all these sacrifices due to Janananda Goswami Maharaj's dedication, as he said personally before Shishya speaking, that you have to face a lot of problems, as you know very well. Yet, his determination to bring life and inspiration to the devotees is really wonderful. And I was thinking this morning as well how he created this family mood in very Mayapur. It's completely in the line of Srila Prabhupada's way to do things. Because we have our family, material family connection. And to build a family spirit in Sankirtan, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan Holy City is extremely important. So if someone doesn't feel welcome, doesn't feel this family atmosphere in the movement, in Hare Krishna movement, by the time being he leaves. He gives up everything. Because they have no feeling. Although Bhagavatam's philosophy is there, the practice studying about is there, everything is there. But there is no this feeling of family mood. Like Srila Prabhupada wonderfully, he showed us how to do it. By the time one leaves. Therefore, thank you very, very much, Janananda Goswami Maharaj, for his humility, simplicity, the very personal way to do things. It's very important. So thank you very much for everything.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next we have Goswami Mataji.
Also to improve the sound system.
We only have one speaker and one controller.
Oh, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I'm having a little difficult catching the ears.
Maybe on the students.
Yes.
We don't have controller. This is always
Jai Maharaj, Hare Krishna. So very happy to see you here. And even though some of your God brothers ask, what you doing in France? You know, come on, you gotta be crazy to be there. It's so many problems, regular sugar with France. But I'm happy you're here because I would not be here because when I left
3 years ago, I had enough, to tell you the truth, had enough of this place, and went someplace else. In Gulag, which was very, very nice Gulag with other Vaishnavas from other group. And now I see, there's not this mentality here, who's your guru, who's, your mat, from. As long as you behave like a Vaishnava, a Vaishnavi, here we are, devotees are welcome. I think it's wonderful, and it's your influence. And then it takes a lot of courage to come to this place, because I know all the problems that we face, and it's got bad reputation. It's going to France, this crazy, very revolutionary with this reputation. Of course, there's good things happening in France also, in the devotee world, but it takes a lot of courage and a lot of love, especially, and tolerance, And that's what you have, Maharaj, And I'm so happy Krishna sent you here. Because, 3 years ago, I can see the difference. It was going down drain, down the drain, it's like devotees were kicked out or didn't want to stay here. And Maharaj, by his personality and his love, his compassion, and his vision, broad vision, he just accepts everybody who behaves as a Vaishnava. So that's a good. In fact, a few days ago, I asked Janananda, how come did you end up in France? It's in the South India, it was in Australia. He said, Maharaj, I heard that he was always talking about new Mayapur, So he's so concerned, that this new Mayapur project continues, I mean, it had a lot of ups and downs. We almost lost it 2 times. And, we're not going to tell you. Some books are being written, it's interesting. Some saviors came, and then we have to be saved from our saviors. But Maharaj we're not going to call him a savior, but he is, by his disciples. They're the one running the place, his disciples. And inspiring them and guiding them and bringing them here, And a lot of Lakshmi, it comes from Maharaj, Maharaj disciples around the world. So he's helping in so many ways, So we should never forget that, especially those who might, some people somewhere criticize, Like it's a custom to criticize those you envy. Another reason I'm very happy is because you're a good friend of my Guru Maharaj, and in fact, I feel sometimes you act like him, like cool me down, when I get excited. So I appreciate that, I like him, to chant, even though I don't go much on Hari, sorry. That's another reason, the god brother of our Guru is like almost like a guru, it's as dear, especially when you're in the same mood, So I don't feel so lonely now. So I feel you're keeping an eye on me, make sure I don't go crazy. So thank you, Maharaj, very much. And I hope you're going to stay here because you got your house, which is a good thing. If you got your house,
What was that?
Get a new house.
you got your house.
Me, a new house. You got a house.
Your
Oh,
house.
yeah, the house. That's what she's saying. Hare Krishna.
Why you got a base here, because you got to have a base somewhere, even if you're traveling somewhere else, And as you mentioned, recently we were meeting, you also need community, It's not easy to be a sannyasi that's traveling and you get old and you get sick. And you need to breathe a little bit. So I'm glad you chose New Mayapur. Really like it. Thank you very much, Krishna. And long life.
Someone said curse, someone said long life.
That's a curse.
Just a quick couple of words. Thank you, your brothers and sisters, for your kindness. how did I come to France? As I mentioned maybe the other day, that by the efforts of all of you and other devotees in the yatra, we hope that some progress has been made. But one day we'll have progress with the sound system. It's your fault. Got the internet?
Someone's phoning in their offering.
They're phoning it. So, yeah, well, it's kind of a long story, I guess. Partly because, for better or for worse, when I was on the sannyas list back in the early part of the century, yeah, and Prahlad Nanda Maharaj asked me if I would. He asked every sannyas candidate, "Will you please go to France?" As part of your, let's say, trial, test, to see if you've got the meat for sannyas. Handle France, you're eligible. He said, but not many would take it up. You were given a few choices. He kept pressing me for some reason. At that time, I had also taken responsibility in the Philippines, which was another. We can abandon yatra almost. You see, health reasons had not been for years. So I said, I can't really do it. But somehow or another, a few devotees, I think Chaitanya Nikai amongst them, takes a lot of credit also for especially the financial aspect of Paris and Mayapur in recent years, and he and his family, especially his daughter. So he's French by birth, and I spent a lot of time with him in New Zealand when I was there. And he was always encouraging me also to spend some time here, though he knew, it was an easy thing to do. And a few other devotees, but let's say spending a little more time than just a visitor here was especially encouraged by Shivaram Swami, who has a very soft spot for the French yatra. He considers it, the most very important, this temple, the most important temple in one sense in Europe, although he's got his own responsibilities and projects. But his heart is very much, hopeful and prayerful, and he does support in any way he can the French yatra. And also Bhakti Vikashwan Maharaj, who has sent some disciples here to France over the years, and would willingly send more if it wasn't for present immigration rules or COVID problems now, etc. But he was probably the main person who encouraged me to stay here in France more for the service of Prabhupada. Whatever our shortcomings may be, and I have plenty of shortcomings and attachments or whatever it may be. But in principle, yes, it's many devotees are surprised. I don't know if Goswami Prabhu or Vishesha, somebody said, why would you come here? Many devotees are very, very surprised that we are still here in France. Well, it's only because of you. It's not because of me. It's because of the devotees. We can't survive unless we have sangha of devotees and loving relationships. Maybe we can improve a lot on that one. But it's without that encouragement, without that support, without that loving good wishes of the devotees, we can't do anything. We're hopeless, helpless. We're completely depending on the devotees. So we'd like to thank all of you, and we also have to thank Shivaram Swami and Bhakti Vikash Maharaj and others, and Deva Rita Maharaj, who willingly let Puranda Prabhu come here. But somehow or another he ran away. We don't know why he went. And we hope he'll change his mind soon.
And everyone else who encouraged us to come here and give us the strength to persevere in this middle service to Prabhupada. We hope that Prabhupada will smile on all of you and inspire you to also realize how dear this is to Srila Prabhupada, the French, not just Newmarket, Paris, and the French Yatra also. Paris is a very important temple, and certainly there's a great scope in the future for the awakening, or whatever you want to call it, of the preaching in Paris. Very important. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Next we have Krishna Charan Mataji. Followed by Giri Vidam
Krishna Charan Arvinda.
Yes.
Krishna Charan Arvinda is the beloved wife of Goswami Prabhu, who also served in the French Yatra since day one, and in translations also. Many services, daily worship. Assisting her husband in so many ways. Wonderful example of Vaishnavi. And also loves the history of Prabhupada's books. I think book distribution must always be there. Sankirtan Prabhu said farms and book distribution, these two programs are very most essential generalizations. They include many other services, but principally these two major services.
Krishna, dear Janananda, I am very happy to speak about your glory, because I can see you got the blessing of many devotees, and otherwise in France it's impossible to do something without fights, and I don't know what happened, but fights are going, but you make them lighter and lighter. Fights. Yes. Yes.
Fires and fights.
Fire and fights. So we are.
That's because we're neophytes.
Neophytes.
We become a little more advanced, and everything will be solved.
So I thank you so much for everything improving in France, and we were thinking no hope. Srila Prabhupada say we should cooperate, but in France we don't know how to cooperate. And it's bad because we have good qualities, we can do many things, but we don't know how to cooperate. And Krishna send you and make things work, and so it's like a miracle. So I want to thank you so much for all what you are giving to us, and make, like Srila Prabhupada said, we will change the world. And I was thinking it's impossible now, we don't do it, we cannot do it, and it will never happen. But again now the hope is here, because we can see so many new devotees and so many projects, and everything are bigger and bigger, and so nice spirits, so nice. We were speaking about that with Goswami Prabhu. So many nice people came, nice people, it's incredible. Before it was so many angry people, now it's nice people. So I have a lot of hope for the future, and I hope we will change the world with it. Hare Krishna, and Namaste, Namaste.
Next we have Giri Govardhan Prabhu.
Did he go to Prabhu?
Followed by Bhagavatam Mataji.
We'd like to thank Agni Dev Prabhu for being with us here in New Mayapur. So much good. You can't imagine all over the world at ISKCON how much devotees are eager for Agni Dev Prabhu to come to their temples, their yatras. And again, by the inspiration of Srila Prabhupada, Agni Dev Prabhu is kindly spending his time, and we hope he also lives a long life in the French Yatra, and helps us to wake up and focus our hearts on Srila Prabhupada and the holy name and serving the Prabhupada's mission here in France. Of course, along with his wife Krishna Gustayamata and her family, who are making a wonderful inspiration and enthusiasm here in our yatra. We hope that they will happily continue to serve Prabhupada here as long as they want, as long as they can. Thank you very much for being here. Is there a garland for Agni Day, Prabhu?
Yes.
Garland's behind.
Okay. I want to acknowledge your determination and your willingness to do something here after all these years where the projects seem to be more or less abandoned. And you took this at heart, really, by bringing so many nice souls, money also, endeavor, and especially time. Time is consuming everything, so I see that you invest a lot of time here, and it gave a tremendous effects and enthusiasm in the heart of the devotees and the devotees you gathered here, because it was quite desertic at a certain time and monastic, you can say. I saw how you nicely rejuvenated the book distribution and the chanting of the holy name here. We have been following report for quite some time, and we can see that's really the basis of our movement. Yesterday or a few days ago, when Brahmachari was giving the class and saying that the basis emphasized by Srila Prabhupada was the farm and the books. Of course, we are accustomed to the books, so many books have been distributed, but we can see that in due course of time, the projects about farm have been somewhat neglected here and there. And we see that the time and circumstances are changing quite a lot. And I see that you are interested and concerned by the future of the farms, and especially here. It's a temple and a farm together, and we have some mellows from Mayapur and some mellows from Vrindavan mixed in considerable way. So you are developing quite the aspect, Mayapur aspects, the holy names and the books. And it's going, I see that with some people coming here, it's starting to be developing the farm, because these are heavy basis. When you want to build a building, you need to have a strong basis, otherwise it will collapse. And Srila Prabhupada said that the books and the farms are this basis, and upon which we can build something very solid. And I can appreciate the fact that you are especially stressing these aspects of our movement, which are actually the basis. It's heavy. It's heavy. The books are heavy. The land is heavy. The cows, the earth, the wood, all these materials are heavy. But you build. It takes some time, but you build something very tangible, very solid, very heavy for the future. And I want to thank you very much for your endeavor. May you have a long life. You must not suppose that we'll be here forever. Me, you, and some other devotees, and we should take advantage of this, because time is the devouring power of Lord Krishna.
We hope Giri Govardhan Prabhu also lives a long life and trains others, but keeps the rose garden and makes it even more and more beautiful every year for the pleasure of their lordship.
I can get it for the next couple of months.
His being here alone is an offering, but if you want to say a couple of words as well, more than an offering.
Just a couple. You're determined,
Maybe you're online now. Is it on what? On Zoom, isn't it? I heard recording in progress.
It's an honor to be here to offer my respects on this day. It won't matter to you, you're deaf anyway. It's admirable to see you take the reins and conduct the marathon, the book distribution marathon for the month of December. And it was wonderful to see it unfold and engage so many people in distributing Prabhupada's books. We all know that Prabhupada said the books were his heart. And he expressed it in so many ways, so many times, that this book distribution is important. It's important that we are not just beggars, we're distributing knowledge. And that is the great scarcity in this world. People have no knowledge, meaning no real knowledge, transcendental knowledge, knowledge of the soul. Prabhupada, once he went to visit one of the biggest universities in Massachusetts, MIT, I believe, and he asked the students, you're studying so much here, but you don't have a department for studying the nature of the soul, the nature of consciousness. Do you have such a department? And they all said, no. So he said, we have such a department. So we are proud when we see the books going out, because every book, the small ones, pamphlets, everything that's being distributed, you can't. Prabhupada just spoke so much about it, giving the nature of consciousness, the nature of the soul. And this is what people need to know, because 99.9% of the world population are ignorant about this. They're still very much thinking that they are this body, and the problems are only increasing, and they have no solution. But if people can read our books, they will see there is a solution. So to push this on is the most important activity. And you did a marvelous job organizing this. With great difficulty, so many obstacles come. During Prabhupada's time, I was fortunate to participate in a few Christmas marathons in America. And we saw when Prabhupada got the results, how pleased he was, how happy he was. There's no doubt. By doing this, he said this is the quickest way to be recognized by Lord Chaitanya. So
keep the fires burning. And
You know, just for the farm site quickly, the book distribution was very much, and still is, understood in the sense as being a primary service or activity, preaching activity. And Srila Prabhupada was in London in '77 on his last journey to the West. When Prabhupada was in London on his last trip to the Western world, he spent 2 weeks there. His health was very poor, very sickly. But he spoke mostly about farm projects. When I was driving him from the airport to the manor, Prabhupada did speak, but he only spoke about cow protection, nothing else. He didn't mention books, he didn't mention bhaktas. We were making 4 new brahmacharis every month, and just to bring 20,000 Mahabig books a week, practically speaking, some ridiculous figure. I mean, not ridiculous, but great figure. But Prabhupada just wanted to know about the cows and how we were going to develop the cow protection program in the manor, which of course they've done the way they've done it now. Then it was something like what we have here. So it was very dear to Prabhupada, and he said he wanted to go to Gitanagari farm in America to show us how to establish farm projects and farm ashrams. So it's a big part of our opportunity, or your opportunity, in the future, to put Krishna in the center of our lives, not ourselves. Krishna in the center, and as was mentioned just now, I'm going to go down a little bit about Vrindavan, a little bit about Mayapur, but Vrindavan, the mood of Vrindavan, Krishna is the center of everyone's life, and cows and land. Krishna has given you this cows and land, we've given land, and now we have some cows, and we hope that more and more in the future we'll be able to serve the cows and serve Bhagavatas will here in Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Next we have Bhagavati Mataji. For this song we're actually going to use the screen. So
What's going on?
she has a presentation.
Wow, I'm going to see how you go. This might be interesting. How do you people want to see it? This is a very interesting looking presentation.
It can be shared later, Mara, if people don't want it.
Well, I just don't put the chair on. The body. The chariot, the body.
Bhagavati is very kind to spend her years here in New Mayapur. She was the temple president of our Belfast temple for many years in Northern Ireland, serving there. And now she's serving here, serving the devotees, serving Prabhupada.
I was sent here. Maharaj took me in because I was thrown out.
Hey, come on. Don't tell the truth around here.
Okay, this is I wanted to show this to Maharaj because it's a subject matter very dear to his heart. So there's 2 personalities. On the left is a Downatai, and on the right is Dr. F.R. Ogg, Dr. Frog.
Hog. Oh yeah, a hog. Frog.
Okay. Anyway, just 7 slides. It's quite short. Some of the English you might exactly understand, but you'll understand the gist. And it's in poetry, so I'm going to read it now, and hopefully I'll do the 2 voices separately, not get them mixed up. Good morning, sir. Please take a book. Just open it and have a look. It's all about the inner soul and Krishna, the truth and supreme whole. Dr. Frog is a very puffed up British professor. So he says, I'm sorry, but I have to go. I've got a schedule, don't you know? I'm going to present a paper. No time for any Krishna caper. I know you are a busy man, but briefly listen, perhaps you can, to some wisdom from the Gita. It's written all in Sanskrit meter.
Oh, Sanskrit's not at all my field. To your request, I cannot yield. I'm a professor, a scientist. This is my life, the general gist.
This book is full of spiritual science, practical for daily appliance. It's invaluable instruction, will save you from death and destruction.
For spiritual things I've no regard. I like straight facts, just plain and hard. It's mumbo jumbo, that spiritual stuff. It's myths and nonsense, a lot of guff.
Look, this is getting more and more puffed up. I see you put your faith in matter, but at death the elements scatter. What will you think when death arrives? Read in this book how the soul survives.
Oh, you are such a persistent chap.
You're misled by God claptrap. It's nonsense, all that holy talk. It irritates and makes me balk.
Oh my God, becoming smaller.
Spiritual knowledge gives us light, else temporary life has no respite. We have to die and need to know where after death we will go.
My research is a master plan for immortality for man.
We'll change the genes and DNA. Old age and death will go away.
Oh, my heart, an awful pain.
I worked so hard with my big brain. I got a first-class PhD. So why is this happening to me?
Bad gum.
I can't read the dot line.
Yeah.
Oh,
bad gum.
okay.
I'm searching for my mouse.
No, I can remember. Your research plan was incomplete. Material nature did you defeat. God is supreme and controls all. No one escapes when death doth call. Therefore to God we must turn, and how to please him we must learn. Then birth and death we will transcend, we live eternally with him, our friend.
Who did the artwork? You did. Another hidden talent we should have. Very nice. Thank you so much. That's a nice presentation.
Next we have Sunda Gopal Prabhu, followed by Rasa Leela Mataji, and then Sankirtan and Phil.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, another one of the devotees has served a lot of time in India also, but most of his life in France. Of course, you know, overseeing a restaurant project in Tours in recent years, together with others. And a beautiful cookbook, Veggie Chef cookbook, popular cookbook, vegetarian cookbook.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So at first I was not feeling ready to speak because I'm shy and but I got inspiration for two reasons I decided to speak. First reason, and we got onto in our reading we got onto a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking to Sanatana Goswami, and this verse was quoted. My dear Vaishnav, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch. and glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For in the material world, it is very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord. We may feel impure and lacking in so many ways, but if you don't take this opportunity or opportunity or any other opportunity we are offered by the grace of God, how will we ever get purified? Because it is instead very, very rare. It is indeed very, very rare to find a pure devotee of God, especially in this age. The second reason why I felt impelled to say something is, I guess, a sense of gratitude. When somebody shows you kindness, helps you in any way, it is natural that on such an occasion as today, one says some kind of thank you to them. A few years ago, this place, New Mahapur, as many said before me, was almost desert, populated only by a handful of dedicated devotees. Except for maybe 15 residents, New Mahapur was practically empty all year long. Only on festival days and maybe 2 or 3 weeks during the summer would it become a little more alive. Now, in spite of this COVID situation, in the midst of the winter, New Mahapur is packed up with devotees, friends and visitors, blissfully vibrant. But we wonder, when New Mahapur would be today, if Janananda Maharaj had not come here and practically dedicated his life to this community, would it ever still exist? We see that Maharaj not only works to maintain this project, but also increases different aspects, book distribution, harinams, building renovations, festivals, cow protection, devotee outreach, etc. At an age where everybody thinks of a peaceful retirement, Maharaj is taking practically a new extra burden every day on his head. We also say that we judge a tree by its fruits, and we see so many of his followers here, with good character, respectful, knowledgeable. Because of his simplicity and humility, Maharaj is not an intimidating personality. He is easily approachable, and sometimes I even think too easily accessible, especially in regard to this proverb, familiarity breeds contempt. But fortunately, there are days like today. One definition of this proverb I had just read yesterday in the dictionary was, I quote, extensive knowledge of someone or something leads to a loss of respect for them or it. This may apply to things or people of this material world, but not to the Lord or his devotees. On the contrary, the more we hear and learn about them, the more we appreciate their unique position. So thank you, Maharaj, for this opportunity, and thank you for everything else.
Bravo.
Gopal Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much, Gopal Prabhu.
Next we have Vyasa Mataji. She's going to be reading a letter. It's an offering from both herself and Akshayananda Prabhu, and it will be translated from French. You have a translator?
I can do it.
Vyasa Mataji? Rohini's here.
Vasalila Mata and her husband Akshayananda Prabhu have developed the Yoga Lyric Preaching Center in Paris. Over many years they've been preaching Bhakti Loka and now Yoga Lyric. And many of the devotees here today are thankful to them for bringing them to Krishna consciousness. There's 20 devotees who come for the festival from Yoga Lyric, right? 20 devotees.
Minus those from Slovakia.
Two or three. Yeah. Nearly 20 devotees came for the festival from Yoga Lyric, and others didn't come. Many came. Hare Krishna, Shalila. Someone can give God. Right. Don't worry.
sound system. Turbo. Those horrible guys.
Cher Janananda Goswami Maharaj, acceptez mes humbles hommages.
Yes.
S'il vous plaît.
Dear Janananda Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Quand je sortais de la maison pour venir ici, Akshananda m'a donné une lettre, il m'a envoyé par mail la lettre qu'il a écrite pour vous.
So when I was going out to come here, Akshananda Prabhu just sent me a letter for you.
Et il a demandé que je lise pour vous.
And he requested me to read it out for you.
J'aimerais bien dire quelques mots et après, si vous permettez.
But first I would like to speak a few words if you allow me.
Janananda Goswami Maharaj, vous êtes un exemple pour moi de Goswami.
Dear Janananda Goswami Maharaj, you are for me the personified the example of a Goswami.
Goswami, c'est celui qui maîtrise ses sens.
Goswami is one who has mastered his sense, controlled his sense.
J'ai pas eu beaucoup d'associations comme vos élèves avec vous,
I didn't get much association as your disciples,
mais le temps que j'ai pu avoir votre association, et j'ai vu comment vous maîtrisez vos sens. Et c'était un grand exemple pour nous, pour moi en premier.
and the little time I spent with you, I had your association, I could see how much you were controlling your senses, and that's a great example for me.
Et chaque fois, j'ai remarqué quand nous tous, on est ensemble et quand vous voyez que ça commence à partir vers Prajalpa, tout de suite vous prenez les karatans et vous commencez à chanter, faire le kirtan.
And every time we are all together, and that you see that we are slightly going towards Prajalpa, you just take your kartals and start doing kirtan.
Et de l'autre côté aussi, quand vous voyez que on fait des sahajas, tout de suite vous pouvez dire quelque chose de très ordinaire pour détruire cette mentalité.
And on the other hand, when we're doing something which are a little bit like sahaja, you just say any simple words and ordinary, and that just breaks this mood.
Et contrôler les sens, quand on dit ça, pour moi c'est contrôler les sens matériels.
And when we're speaking of controlling the senses, we refer to material senses.
Et je vois que en contrôlant les sens matériels, vous nous donnez un exemple comment aller développer les sens spirituels.
And I can see that through your example of controlling material senses, we can reach that platform of controlling spiritual, to have spiritual sense, to get a spiritual sense. Develop, yes, sorry.
Et vous nous aidez beaucoup de se débarrasser de nos attachements.
And you help us to get rid of our attachments.
Souvent, on pense que ça c'est des mauvaises choses, il ne faut pas être attaché, ça c'est des bonnes choses, il faut y attacher, mais vous nous montrez que ni bien, ni bon, ni mauvais.
So
Il faut pas ça.
often we think this thing is a bad attachment, this thing is a good thing, I should attach, but you show us that we should have neither of them, no attachment at all.
Souvent on pense par exemple quand on planifie tout bien et on est à l'heure, ça c'est très important et c'est très bien.
And often we might think that we're scheduling things and that we should be always on time and so on, and we think that everything will be alright then.
Et j'aimerais bien donner un bon exemple. Une fois, vous avez dit que vous allez venir 10h30 et vous êtes venu vers 1h30.
I would like to give an example. One time you said that you would come around 10:30, but you arrived at 1:30 p.m.
Et moi, dans ma tête, j'essayais de comprendre pourquoi Maharaja a dit 10h30 et comme je suis très attachée que tout soit dans l'ordre avec le planning prévu, et je me disais comment est-ce possible et pourquoi Maharaj n'est pas venu à l'heure.
And I was thinking, why did you say 10:30? And for me, I'm so attached to having everything on timing and to be in good orders and so on. So I was thinking, why did you say that you will come 10:30?
Je pensais une excuse pourquoi il n'a pas respecté le plan. Dans ma tête, je suis au fond en pensant pourquoi il n'est pas venu.
And I would like to apologize because I think in my mind I just offended you by thinking, oh, he's late.
Et après, quand vous êtes parti, j'ai compris que j'étais tellement attachée qu'on maîtrise tout. Si on décide comme ça, il faut absolument que ça se passe comme ça. Mais finalement, on comprend que pourquoi les Védas disent qu'il ne faut pas trop s'attacher aux règles et prescriptions.
But once you left, I just realized how attached I was to the rules, and I was thinking that we could control things, but then I remembered that I should just let go, and that how in the Vedas they say that we should not be too much attached to the rules and regulations.
Et j'ai compris aussi que comme ça on développe l'humilité.
And I understood that in this way we can develop humility.
Et ce n'est pas nous le contrôleur, c'est Krishna qui est le contrôleur.
And we are not the controller, Krishna is.
Et j'aime bien énormément que vous arrivez tout attaché à Krishna.
And what I like the most about you is that you manage to connect everything to Krishna.
Et vous donnez toute votre vie pour Krishna.
And you're giving your life, your entire life for Krishna.
Et quand vous venez au Yoga Lyrique, parfois je regardais votre état, je me disais, Maharaj, il va tellement mal, comment il va même parler?
And sometimes when you come to Yoga Lyric, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking in which state you are looking, and I'm thinking, how will you even be able to talk?
Mais après, quand vous commencez le kirtan, après la conférence, incroyable, vous vous transformez jeune brahmachari sannyasi.
And then you start doing kirtan and the lecture, and you just transform. You become like a young brahmachari, young sannyasi.
Et c'est un bon exemple pour moi qu'on ne doit pas trop s'attacher à notre corps en disant on est fatigué, on est malade, j'ai mal quelque part, mais se donner 100%.
And it's a good example for me that we should not be attached that oh, I'm too old, I'm tired, I'm sick, and that we should not actually give any importance to that.
Et je voulais vous remercier énormément aussi que vous nous offrez tellement, les disciples tellement qualifiés, je dis toujours angéliques. Vos disciples sont angéliques.
And I would also like to thank you for your disciples that you have given here, and because I often say that they're like angelic, or they're like angels.
Et Janananda Prabhu, il y a 10 jours, il a dit, je regrette tellement que quand j'étais jeune, J'ai pas passé l'école de Brahmachari chez Janananda.
And 10 days ago, Janananda Prabhu told me that, oh, I regret so much that when I was younger, I didn't go through Janananda Maharaj Brahmachari school.
Et je vous remercie énormément que pendant le marathon, vous avez ramené les brahmacharis. Et puisque yoga lyrique, c'est essentiellement des grihasthas, on a plus d'expérience dans le grihastha ashram.
And I would also like you to thank you for the marathon when you brought up all the brahmachari, while we in Yoga Lyric, we're mostly grihasthas, we have more experience in grihastha ashram.
Et c'était tellement extatique voir comment les brahmacharis et grihasthas peuvent collaborer ensemble dans la conscience de Krishna.
And it was so ecstatic to see how the grihasthas and the brahmachari, they can cooperate so well in Krishna consciousness.
Je vous remercie, Janananda Goswami Maharaj, tout ce que vous faites pour nous.
Thank you very much, Janananda Goswami, for everything that you're doing for us.
Et pareil, je vous souhaite, si j'ai tant de... Si j'ai le droit de souhaiter longue vie.
And if I'm allowed, please let me wish you a long, long life.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Prabhupada. Hare Bol. Yoga Lyric Yatra Ki Jai.
Jai.
Est-ce que je pourrais donner la lettre d'action? C'est ici.
I will now read out Achananda Prabhu's letter to English. Dear Janananda Goswami Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Today we have the occasion to express our feelings and our deep gratitude for your sincere mercy and the ocean of inspiration in which you are constantly, and we, using your kindness and your compassion, we are swimming in the waves of that ocean. We did not meet Prabhupada in our lives, but thanks to you, we can see his qualities through you, and we can thus communicate with him through you. You are really Srila Prabhupada's gift for us, and we are very grateful to him. The association with you is a true example of sadhu sangha. The association with the direct association, the direct and rightful association with the Vaishnava. If you ask us what we like the most in you, we won't hesitate to answer: your devotion, your unconditioned devotion to Krishna. You are certainly part of those friends that are stealing yogurts to the gopis, and those who laugh and roll on the ground in the land of Vrindavan, and who keep the cows with Krishna. Sometimes you carry Krishna on your back and you chant like a cuckoo to make Krishna laugh. Thanks for never depriving us of your company, of your association. Your simple presence just chase away our desires of sense gratification. You are cultivating so many wonderful disciples, honest, child, and decent, devoted to Krishna, and we would be very happy to help you in your service. Guru means heavy, but your heaviness is so soft and sweet that we want to carry it until the end of time. Preaching Krishna consciousness is so natural for you that you preach non-stop. You preach even when you're sleeping. It's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely that all those words could even transmit 100 of your qualities, can depict hundreds of your qualities, as if I were trying to move a mountain. Krishna gives you unlimited good qualities. Please do not take our offenses seriously. As parents forgive the mischiefs of their children, thus please forgive us for all our offenses and our imperfections. We please beg you to engage us in the service, in the devotional service to Vaishnavas. Thank you again and again for all that you are doing for us. All glories to you, your servants, Janananda Das and Rasalila Devi Dasi.
He didn't know he could write in English.
I was translating on the spot.
Thank you. Garland for us,
Next we have Sankirtan Guru, and then afterwards we'll have a video from devotees on the far, far end of the world, Australia and New Zealand.
Sankirtan Prabhu is the inspiration for the Brahmacharya ashram in Czech Republic, leading book distributor. He's also the temple president of a city temple and a farm project in Czech Republic, disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Prakash Maharaja. Always very kind whenever we go to Czech Republic to welcome us to his centers, the ones he's running. We always remember on this occasion that Vyasa Puja is we're paying our homage to our Parampara, the succession, back to Srila Vyasa Deva. We heard how books are very go down the foundation of our movement, the basis. It's Srila Vyasa Deva who is manifested, you could say, in this age of Kali, form of the Lord, as the literary incarnation, appeared in the form of these transcendental literatures which have been spoken throughout the generations and recently printed, and how Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, focused on the printed word of Srila Vyasadeva. And when Prabhupada was at the Kingsford Press in Kentucky, when they were printing 1,500,000 Bhagavad Gitas in one room, Prabhupada paid his obeisances to the printing press. And he said, this printing press is another form of Srila Vyasadeva. He appears in many ways. And the Lord is not limited, the Guru is one, and Prabhupada's offering to his Guru Maharaj. There's only one Guru, ultimately Krishna, and appears in many, many forms to teach us all. Some recognize, some don't. So as we mentioned yesterday, every devotee is acting, every Vaishnava is considered to be a Guru, because one is carrying that message of the absolute truth by one's words and one's actions. So today this festival is to remind us of our good fortune to be connected to the Parampara, which means the disciplic succession, going back to Srila Vyasadeva and of course to Narada Muni and Krishna himself, etc. To Brahma, Krishna himself. So thank you all very much for your offerings, but don't forget this is our meditation, how to understand that if there is any good quality whatsoever, it's simply because good fortune that we have come in contact with such great devotees who come on behalf of Krishna into this world to give us their association. The more we take their association, the more chance that good qualities may awaken within ourselves. Hare Krishna. Sankirtan Prabhu. live, this microphone is alive.
It's the same everywhere. Dear Maharaj, Vancha Papadharvishcha Kripa Sindhu Chapatitanam Pavanam Yoga. First of all, it's a great honor for me to be here with you and your god brothers and god sisters, disciples and well-wishers. It is very inspiring to see how your presence in France is helping to build up this yatra back. I see things only from a distance. Of course, someone who knows more about this conference history can more properly describe your glories. But what can I see for sure is that the book distribution from the year you moved here is increasing year by year. It is an amazing development, and especially the fact that you also go out and personally distribute books in the streets. This is an example we all need to see. Several new distributors are coming up here, while several of the veterans are going out with them. In my eyes, you are very brave that you have taken up this great challenge in such an advanced age. Everybody knows that your whole life is full of surrender and intense preaching work. Still, you have taken a challenge nobody wanted to undergo. Such a great example and inspiration. It gives us strength. When one sees you to deal with your disciples and with all other devotees and everyone, you are like an affectionate father. Everyone feels to be welcomed in your presence and relaxes at the shelter of your lotus feet. For us, you are like a broad-minded uncle with a big heart and a big smile, always blissful and absorbed in the holy name. And although that in your presence everyone feels at ease, one can also sense great dedication and seriousness of yours in Srila Prabhupada's mission. It is clearly obvious that you are deeply absorbed in his service and that you are living for his pleasure. Everywhere you come, you help all of us ordinary souls to appreciate more and more the holy name of the Lord, for which you have visibly an enormous taste. Let us follow in your footsteps and let us also sacrifice our lives for Srila Prabhupada. And also, you are always welcome to visit us in Brno and Navagogula Farm, where everyone is waiting for you to submerge us in ecstatic kirtans. Your servant, Sanjitandas.
Haribo! Thank you, Prabhu Ki Jai. All the devotees who come from Czech Republic Ki Jai.
Jai!
They came a long way. They drove more or less non-stop 17 hours to get here.
Wow, that's a lot.
To go back also. Quite an ordeal. It was snowing when they left. Thank you so much for coming, all the devotees. And some from Czech Republic, mostly some from Slovakia. Thank you for coming.
So next, if we can all turn to the screen, please.
Bhagavati is doing another presentation.
Is it possible to turn off this headlight? Is it possible to turn this off? So what we have, what we have is videos from disciples that are around Australia and New Zealand. They're on Zoom, and it's probably about midnight with them. Too soon. So we're going to be watching them. It'll be from New Zealand, Australia, etc. They've provided their video offerings. It'll take about 45 minutes, and then we have some more from locals. These are some of Janananda Maharaj's most senior disciples. Thank you.